Welcome back, everybody. As the title suggests, today's video is going to be about me getting a fresh start. So I'm going to quickly let you know what that fresh start means, and we'll kind of get into the details of what's caused this or what's led to this, what the realizations I've had. So a fresh start for me means that for all but 1 week of August, where I'm going on vacation, I plan to be streaming, creating content Monday through Thursday, every single week for the rest of the year. That includes like 1 to 2 weekly uploads on YouTube, probably more, and 4 Twitch streams with regularly scheduled things like free coaching session to viewers on Mondays and a viewer game on Thursdays, and potentially, iterative process on what those things are, how often they are, when they are, etc. But the idea is that I know for some time now I have not been consistent in regards to making content as well as streaming. I've been having a lot of opportunities and other things going on that have really gotten in the way. And I'm here to tell you that we're kind of doing a full wipe of all of the things that I've obliged myself, obligated myself towards for the last few years. What I've basically realized is that over time, I kept saying yes to good opportunities, and that had left me in a spot where I just had too much going on. And the lesson I've learned before, and I've learned yet again, is that when you try to do everything or you try to do too much, you end up doing kind of mediocre or even bad, perhaps, at all the stuff because you're basically overextending yourself. I basically dove tier 4s. When it comes to responsibilities in life. Should have just hit the barracks. So, first and foremost, what kind of made me realize this? So the last few years, I started working with Team Liquid. I started getting back into talent work after taking a bit of a break. And the reason for this was because I had this loneliness, this loner mentality as a streamer that like I was kind of building my bubble. I was kind of only working with myself. And I wanted to expand to work with people. I realized like I just wanted to work with people because there was so many limitations. There's only so much I can do on my own. And so I embarked on that journey, and that was part of what brought me to the Netherlands and everything. And over time, what's happened is I've helped basically bring life to a lot of other people's visions, right? Whether that's the product of a Dream League, whether that's the content within Team Liquid. And now I realize that it's kind of my time to invest in my own vision. Use what I've learned from the people that I've worked with. Very grateful to have worked with all of them. To build something that means something that is truly meaningful to me, right? Truly deep meaning to me. And that's the Dota Dojo. That is basically this realization that the internet, the Dota community as a whole, or more the Dota community, the internet as a whole, I think a lot of us can agree that the direction that it's going is not exactly ideal. And I've had this gnawing feeling for quite some time that there's something I'm supposed to do about it, right? And so my vision is to stop running away from all the toxicity, to effectively confront it and build something where I'm proud to be a part of it. And hopefully there's other people out there that are proud to be a part of it too. And so people ask, I've even had this question, which is a very insightful question of why are you even doing this? Right? And we're like, I've talked about my motivations, but why? Why choose to embark on this? And I would answer with, you can't really control what means a lot to you. I feel like everybody I've talked to has some deeply rooted passion about something. Maybe they're yet to discover it. But eventually everybody has that one thing that seems to mean so much more to them than it quote unquote should, or that it means to anyone else. And this is what matters the most to me, is basically creating a community that I want to be a part of. Because like right now, to be frank, I don't particularly love being a part of the Dota community, at least the players that I'm surrounded with at the Immortal brackets. So I'm here to help you guys get better at the game, learn about the game, talk about the game, and also help myself work with people within the community to build something that we all want to see, all want to be a part of, and shift the tides in the right direction. And what The reason why my last 2 months have been a bit of a purge, I would call that, thanks Purge, has been that at Dream League 26 as well as at EWC, which were perfectly fine events, I had this gnawing feeling that there was something else I was supposed to be doing the whole time. I was just like, I'm busting my ass, I'm working my ass off, and long shifts, and I just want to be doing something else. And that something else was the Dota Dojo, and I've never really had that feeling before, where I was at events and I was thinking like, it's not that I hate this work, it's just that there's something else I'd like to be doing more. And for the last like 2 or 3 months or so, every time I've traveled for events, traveled for something Team Liquid related, I had this same feeling of there's nothing wrong with this, but I'd rather be doing something else. And I think most meaningful change begins with that feeling of feeling like something's missing, that there's something else you're supposed to be doing. You know, initially, it's not like I knew immediately the Dota Dojo was exactly what it was supposed to be. But this was like a growing feeling I'd had for some time, and it really hit me the second I had the Dota Dojo in the situation where I'm like, oh, I'm building a community, I'm like kind of creating my own vision, and now this clearly is the thing that matters to me most. So the last 2 months, like I said, has been a purge of pretty much every responsibility that I've had outside of this so that I can stream regularly for you, create regular content, and effectively invest my time and energy into building the community that I want to be a part of and that I hope we all want to see. And what's so funny about the timing of all of this is that, you know, so I just got done with EWC. I have a vacation in August for 1 week. These are all things that I had planned ahead of time, and I planned for these to be the last things this year. So after wrapping up all of my obligations, basically, that I'd already committed to when I realized this, not that going on a wonderful vacation is an obligation, but you know what I mean, hopefully, is that I also just solidified my permanence in the Netherlands. I just bought a house. I just bought a house for the first time homeowner with my partner. Her and I are very excited. We just got the keys at the notary yesterday. I can't tell you, like, it's been super stressful, but super exciting. And you know, if you ask me where I thought I'd be in 2 years, like 2 years ago or 1 year ago, this is definitely not where I thought I'd be. Starting an entirely new project, approaching my work entirely differently, and living in a whole new home that I get to build for myself. Not literally build, but build the environment around me, I guess you could say. So it all comes at a time where it feels like my entire life is clean slate, tabula rasa, as my math teacher in high school used to always say. And I'm here to tell you guys that the immediate steps that we're taking right now is that I know I haven't been able to give as much to the community of Dota Dojo as I'd like. I was obligating to the weekly classes and all that kind of stuff, and I haven't been able to fulfill that obligation, do all this other stuff. But full time and attention dedicated to this matter. And right now we're in this finalizing process of building a mod team to have people help me foster the community in a way that we want the direction of it to go. And we're going to slowly build upon educational aspects of it. So right now we're in the complete min-maxing phase of my weekly classes. So we're going to be doing a weekly class every Monday at 7 p.m. CET, so 1 p.m. EST, where I get to talk to you guys and go over replays. So the goal of that is for that content to help the people that I'm working with directly as much as possible, but also to be able to give that content to other people and make sure everybody's learning as much as possible from the hour or two of that class that I'm doing, right? So every step of the way, our goal is to build from the ground up, perfect every process that we're utilizing, and then expanding upon it later. One habit I've always had a bad habit of, and this is what's kind of led me to this situation in the first place, is moving on from something before I've perfected it. And I've also not really considered the impact of a small action over a bunch of iterations, right? If I commit to something that's 20 minutes a week, it doesn't seem like much on paper, but then if I do that every single week and then I add 10 of those, suddenly I end up in this spot where I have no time or energy for anything. And that's kind of what's led me here. So this whole clean slate thing is meant to be that we're going to be very intentional, very deliberate about every process that we're going to add within the community. So like I said, right now we're focusing on the actual community aspect of it with the moderators and getting it. There's people helping me kind of steer you guys in the right direction. And we're going on the base level of the content within the community, which is the weekly classes. And every, so often, however long it takes to feel comfortable that those systems are in place, we'll move on to the next thing. And part of this channel is going to be, hey, this is the project we're working on. This is what we think is the most important thing. I remember a saying from, I believe it was Dr. K, maybe he quoted it from someone else, that said, it's easy to think or talk about or imagine all of the things that you could be doing to improve your life or have meaning. But the difficult part is to choose one thing. And that is the most important right now, and to do it. And so that's a mentality that I'm trying to adopt within the Dota Dojo community as a whole. And I also had one last realization I wanted to share with you guys today. So I had a member of the Dota Dojo that was asking a bunch of, I would consider, surface level questions. And I wasn't sure how to address it because I felt like a person asking a bunch of surface level questions didn't really feel like they were like doing their due diligence, their homework. It felt like it was negatively contributing to the community, but I didn't really know how to express it. And I reached out to him and said, I feel like this is negatively contributing. I'm not sure how to articulate it. And I realized that I attacked him basically by saying this is negatively contributing. And so the realization I've had recently is that so many of us, almost all of us, are trained to think right or wrong, whether it's correct or incorrect, whether it's good or bad, unjust or just, right? And the way that I'd like to think about things moving forward with the Dota Dojo, whenever I call you guys out, whenever my moderators call you out, is not that whatever we think you're doing is wrong or right. What we're asking ourselves, the question is what this person is doing contributing to what the Dota Dojo is trying to create, which is a place for people to give and take, learn, talk about Dota, theory craft, enjoy the game for what it is, and basically a place to have intellectual discussions, meet some friends, have the fun private chats with friends that you have. But the public channels are all about fostering that energy, that environment, for people to love, thrive, talk about Dota as a whole, and to feel comfortable asking questions, answering questions, getting feedback, giving feedback. And that's what we're trying to create with the Dota Dojo. So whenever we come to you with, hey, we're not a big fan of what you're doing here, it's not a matter of we think you're wrong, we think we're right. Is that contributing to what the Dota Dojo is trying to create? And I can't wait. I really can't wait to... I've for the longest time, I've just been thinking there's so many things I could be doing. There's so many things to do. And I've just got all this crap. And it's not that talent work or anything like that is crap, but that's how it felt because it was getting in the way of everything that I've been trying to do, or that I want to do with the Dota Dojo, the community, my content, etc. So to wrap up this video, I'm just going to say I can't wait to see what we can create together as a community, myself, my content team. I really just can't wait. Starting my life fresh, anew, new place, new mentality, new routine, new approach. And I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. And this is a video I feel like I'll be looking back on in like 6 months. Because right now I have no real idea of what this is all going to look like 6 months from now. But I have an idea that I'm going to be very proud of it. So thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. And I hope you... and please come say hi in the Dota Dojo if you haven't already. The Discord link is in the description below. And I'll hope to see you guys there. Bye.